Assassin's Creed Mirage is right around the corner, and it's seemingly going to be the first stop on Ubisoft's big planned Assassin's Creed comeback tour. We've heard quite a bit recently about this game and the plethora of other Assassin's Creed games, and we just learned that this was getting pushed back slightly due to a new integration with Ubisoft's new Assassin's Creed Infinity platform. I'm telling you, we're getting an AC multiverse, everyone. But that has also naturally raised some concerns of the community over the game's actual quality, which is fair. You can only delay a game so many times before people start worrying about where it's all going to end up. But luckily for you guys, we just got a massive leak regarding Assassin's Creed Mirage's gameplay, the release date, and the story. And it all comes from a very reliable source who seems to have seen an early build of the game. No, this is not a 4chan leak video today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. Today, we're going to go over the new Assassin's Creed Mirage leaks that have just hit the internet. You guys let me know what you think of these, and let me know, are you going to be buying this day one? Are you sold on this Assassin's Creed hype train that Ubisoft is building for the future of the franchise? Now, with all these new leaks that were detailed by French YouTuber Jonathan, I mean, big shout out to him for compiling all the information. We're going to go over everything. Check out his channel as well. It's all in French, obviously, so there may be a language barrier there, but you can Google Translate. Now, according to Jonathan, AC Mirage is currently set to release on October 12th, although it may get pushed back to November, but Ubisoft will not push it back any further than that, meaning the game is 100% coming out this year, no matter what happens. Now, previously, there were some leaks regarding the game being integrated with the Assassin's Creed Infinity platform, which we covered in a video not too long ago, and that may be causing some of the delays, but it looks like Ubisoft is only willing to push the game back so far if that's the case, so expect the game to launch on October 12th, but don't be shocked if it gets moved to the beginning of November. Now, as many of you have already guessed, it seems all but confirmed at this point that the game was originally written as DLC for Valhalla, but once it entered production, it was spun off on its own project. It had an entirely new gameplay style that was meant to be a throwback to classic-based Assassin's Creed games, stealth-based games that is, which a lot of people are excited about. And that was likely done to both complement the smaller scale of the story and also address recent criticisms from the community that the franchise strayed too far from its roots, too far off the path, a lot of people think. Now, before we move on, guys, if you get anything from GFuel.com, if you've never tried G Fuel, check it out. Use code CHAOS. Link is at the top of the description, whether you're getting tubs, whether you're getting shakers. They have so many new flavors and different bundles and specials going on all month. And you can get up to 30% off using code CHAOS. If you do, be sure to tweet at me or let me know in the comment section that you did so I can show you some love as well. Now, back on track. Despite this game being marketed as a return to Assassin's Creed roots, the leaks suggest that the gameplay is actually closer to Assassin's Creed Origins than any of the classic AC games, meaning you have a lot of gadgets you can use during the missions, and there's still a skill tree, although it's going to be much smaller than before, and has roughly 15 skills to unlock and upgrade, as well as a handful of weapons that can get unlocked and upgraded after completing certain major missions. Now, I know what you're saying. They said it's going to be smaller scale, more stealth-based, like the OG stuff, but then they say it's closer to AC Origins, which was more RPG-esque. Well, let's get through this. The assassination system is seemingly closer to the original Assassin's Creed, meaning you have up to 4 that you have to investigate each one of these, know who they are, gather intel, and then take them out, which will surely be a breath of fresh air and I think will actually pair well with the more Origin-based gameplay and style. Now, there will also be no myth-based gameplay mechanics, so no god-based powers according to this leaker. It's just you, your tools, and the capabilities of the human body, which I also think most of the community will enjoy. The moment-to-moment gameplay will involve a lot of stealth, a lot of tailing targets, listening for key information, so on and so forth. I mean, it will be stealth-based, kind of like a modern update of the original stealth AC formula instead of being a one-to-one recreation. It also has been stated that Eagle Vision will make a return, which will likely help you plan your assassinations a bit more carefully than just diving headfirst into them. It will also keep you from making guards too suspicious of you. That's right. The notoriety system is allegedly coming back, meaning as you venture around the map, certain actions will make guards and officials more suspicious of you. So you'll have to keep an eye on how sus you're acting while hunting down your targets. Dialogue choices have seemingly completely removed, and the story is totally linear, so it's on rails this time, meaning there's no way to change the outcome based on any decisions, which some will see as a negative, others will see as a nice return to form. Me personally, I mean, most of you know Odyssey is one of my favorite AC games of all time. It's actually one of my favorite games, and having the choices to go different paths and have different stories and outlines and endings, I absolutely love that. So to go back to a very, very linear path on the rails, I don't know. We'll have to see. Now, the leaker also says the parkour system will not be as deep as it was in Assassin's Creed Unity, which will probably be a little disappointing to some of you, but it's likely due to limitations with the new Assassin's Creed engine, which was obviously built for large-scale RPGs and not small-scale stealth-based games. Now, it's not a great excuse for the parkour system being limited, but that's just some speculation on my part. I'm going to guess that's why. The Codex is also reportedly coming back, as are the factions, meaning you can recruit people to your gang like thieves and mercenaries and presumably give them jobs to do while you're taking care of your business. Now let's talk about the story. You're gonna be following Basim as he's a simple thief in Baghdad who comes across an ancient artifact that serves as the basis of the plot. Now, as for the story, you'll be following the protagonist. Well, he's a simple thief in Baghdad. He comes across an ancient artifact that serves as the basis for your entire plot. The map will be much smaller than the last few games, featuring only the city of Baghdad and a handful of surrounding areas, but one of the main plots of interest, or points of interest, will apparently be the Iso Temple in the fortress. Now, this has somehow already been added to the official Assassin's Creed wiki, possibly by Ubisoft themselves, as a way to hype up the community. The leaker suggests that the Baghdad map will roughly be the size of Paris in Assassin's Creed Unity, but there will be a decent amount of side areas around the main city. The game will start in a small city northwest of Baghdad. So if you ever played Unity, that's your kind of idea. The story will explore the origins of the assassins and how they got their start. And the leaker also says there aren't many cutscenes in the game, so the story will be told throughout gameplay and dialogue as opposed to lengthy cinematics where the player isn't actually in control, which I'm on the fence about. I don't want half the game to be cinematics, but I also think cinematics add a huge part and a bunch of depth to games and stories if you're telling a really good story. I personally like cinematics, but that's just me. Maybe you guys like it being told through gameplay and dialogue. So, going over all the leaks, I have mixed feelings. On one hand, I love that we're getting back to the more stealth-based experience. As much as I've loved the RPG Assassin's Creed games, Origins and Odyssey, and in Valhalla, I do think it's a little strange that a franchise called Assassin's Creed got so far off the path from assassinations and stealth. I'm also excited for the smaller scale story because I do think it'll be a great change of pace after a few years of these giant, extravagant, world-shifting epics because again, as much as I love the larger scale Assassin's Creed games, I'm excited to return to a more linear and objective-driven experience and see what it's like again. I know I'm going to get my RPG experiences in the future because there's so many titles coming, so I'm not really worried about that. But my concerns come from the fact that it's seemingly being built upon the RPG Assassin's Creed template instead of being built from scratch. And that's why the gameplay is going to be so similar to AC Origins according to Jonathan if it ends up being true. Yes, the level design and the mission structure will be more linear and the stealth-driven vibe of it, but the leaks make it clear that the actual feel of the gameplay is going to be way closer to AC Origins than anything else. And I don't know if that's going to offer the same kind of experience that longtime fans are hoping for. We keep talking about stealth-based and smaller and the OG Assassin's Creed vibe, and I know fans are getting excited about that. I just don't want them to get in there and then it be more like AC Origins just on a smaller scale because that's not what they're looking for. Those hopes are going to be dashed if that's what we end up getting. The larger scale Assassin's Creed games simply were not built for this kind of game, and I think that's highlighted in the leaks where it says the parkour system is rather limited compared to previous games. I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like that's backwards. I mean, aren't later games in a franchise supposed to be evolutions of concepts? Shouldn't a 2023 Assassin's Creed game have better parkour than the one that came out almost 10 years ago? Am I wrong here? Am I off base? Am I overthinking this? You guys let me know what you think. I mean, you can write this off partially because it's a prequel. I guess that's one excuse that can be used. But for a big comeback game, I was kind of hoping for more. Now, once again, these leaks are alleged, so maybe some of them don't end up coming to fruition. It's the first Assassin's Creed game to launch on the PS5, and It's the first stealth-based Assassin's Creed game in a long, long time. Here, we'll do a little trivia or quiz. Tell me what the last true stealth-based Assassin's Creed game was in the comment section. I mean, it's been a while. So the fact that parkour isn't going to be better than it was before, it's a bit of a letdown. And stuff like that is really what makes me concerned about the game. And some of you may be saying, you're nitpicking there. Well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Like I said earlier, AC Mirage started development as DLC for one of the RPG Assassin's Creed games. So obviously, the gameplay isn't going to stray too far from that game's core outline, which is why so many comparisons are being drawn between Mirage and Origins. Look at Modern Warfare 2. We're getting Modern Warfare 3 this year, and it started out as Modern Warfare 2 DLC, so it can't be too much off the path. That's the same vibe that I'm getting from this. So how much is the fact that it was going to be DLC for a bigger, much more expansive RPG Assassin's Creed game going to restrict its potential? How much of this game's vision is going to be compromised for the sake of getting it up and running within an engine and framework of an entirely different game? We've seen this in the past, and sometimes it doesn't end up well. Now, I do think Assassin's Creed Mirage makes me excited for the future of Assassin's Creed games, because obviously, if this stealth-driven game does well, Ubisoft is going to greenlight some new stealth games built from the ground up that the concept would work with. But at the end of the day, if the game flops, if the game isn't good, then people aren't going to buy it. And if Ubisoft is going to continue on with the Assassin's Creed as their flagship franchise, which they look like they are literally all in and more on right now, let's be real. They need people to buy Assassin's Creed Mirage. That's what kicks this whole thing off. Then we get into the Infinity platform. Then we get into Codename Red and Jade and the VR and the mobile games. There's so many different Assassin's Creed projects that are being worked on right now. It all starts with Mirage. Remember, Ubisoft reportedly has a dozen other AC games in development. Let me repeat that. A dozen. 12 projects being developed. And if AC Mirage is supposed to be the game that kicks everybody off, gets everybody excited for the rebirth of the franchise, it's got to be good. It's all going to tie into AC Infinity. Also, don't forget, there's the rumor of the Assassin's Creed 1 remaster that we saw footage in their trailer that looked like a much more detailed Assassin's Creed 1. So is that on the shelf? Is it done? Is it real? I don't know. If Assassin's Creed Mirage fails to meet expectations or it ends up being a disappointment, that will be a huge problem for Ubisoft's future plans. And it may end up causing the publisher to sink deeper and deeper into that hole that they've already gotten themselves into over the last few years. I don't want that to happen. I don't. I love this franchise. I remember playing the first game. Now, the first game hasn't aged well at all. There's a lot of issues, but it's the lore of it. It's just the... I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying. I don't want that to happen. I want it to be good. But if they're not making good products, it's inevitable. They have too much riding on this. They really, really do. So give me your thoughts. AC Mirage, October or November. We're going to play it. We're all going to decide one way or another, Judge, Jury, Executioner, whether or not it's a good game or not. But it has much bigger ramifications across the entire franchise than just one solo game. You guys let me know if you're excited for it. How do you think it's going to play out with what we talked about today being built off of a much bigger RPG Assassin's Creed platform, but scaled down? Do you think that's going to work? Do you think the limitations are going to be there? Do you think cutting out parkour a bunch and all those different things are going to affect it? Do you like the fact there won't be a lot of cinematics in it? Man, I don't know. I'm on the fence completely. I'll keep you guys posted if we get anything new, and I'll see you soon.